Hi everyone, how you doing? Hope you are having a fantastic day today. Meta shareholders surely are not. I don't know whether you've ever heard of Mohnish Pabrai, but he's one of the world's top investors. He's an Indian investor, but he invests across the American stock market, and in fact, stock markets all across the world as well. And about 8 months ago, on the 25th of February, he made quite a famous statement where he said that Facebook shares were an easy double. Since that time, that was when Facebook shares were at $210 a share on that day, on the 25th of February of this year. Facebook today is down about $98. So, ironically enough, the share price has halved since he said it would be an easy double. So at this level, it should be an easy quadruple. But what's happening here? Well, first of all, let's show you Mohnish Pabrai. You probably do know of him. This is a photo of him here. In fact, let me just make this a wee bit bigger. So, in fact, I've got a photo in colour. So let's see. In fact, that's a bit better yet. So let's make this a little bit bigger here. There we go. So that's Mohnish Pabrai, and like I said, he's one of the world's best investors, and he runs billions of dollars worth of funds, and it's a one-man job. He does it all himself. And he famously said on 25th of February, Facebook is an easy double. Now, if we actually have a look at Meta, which was previously Facebook, we can see the meteoric decline in the share price. Now, what has happened today was Facebook released some of their results. It was their third quarter results, and they said that their revenue is still decreasing. So that means they are decreasing in kind of their user base, and they're decreasing in the amount of adverts that they can push out to that user base. So their share price took quite a big hit today, of around about 25% as we're seeing it right now. So that was come as quite a shock, because companies tend to release results, and even if they still seem okay, the share price can take quite a big hit. So that's what happened today. And you can see, so that an article with the FT shows that investors wiped more than 80 billion from Meta's market cap today, which is an absolutely incredible amount. 80 billion. That's 2.5 times the Lloyd's share price, the whole of Lloyd's market cap in one day gone. So quite a big drop there. And one of the kind of two of the core reasons here is that the company said its expected revenue would be in the range of 30 billion to 32.5 billion, whereas the market expectation was 32.2 billion. Now, I don't know about you, but that still seems pretty, close to me. Of course, it's the trend that people are looking at here, and it's going down. So obviously that's not good. Investors are selling out. And it says net income in the third quarter fell 52% to $4.4 billion. Now, if you take that $4.4 billion, and if you assume this is a low, but let's assume Facebook can continue making this $4.4 billion every quarter from now into the future, that still puts Facebook's PE at about 14 and a half, which is still very, very reasonable, considering usually the S&P is around about 20 or even higher, 30 or even 40 we've seen, and that was at the beginning of this year. So the PE ratio is quite low. So investors are really kind of losing confidence, is what it shows in Meta, and the ability to transform this kind of failing sort of Facebook into this successful Meta. So that's kind of what's happening there. It's going to be really interesting to see kind of what happens, and whether Meta can turn this around, whether Mark Zuckerberg has the ability to turn this around before he starts kind of running out of cash and running out of his user base. So that was the biggest kind of shock today. But as you can see, if I go back a page, you'll see that on my watch list of top US stocks, these are the top US stocks. You can see at the very bottom, Meta falling 24% today. But you can also see Amazon, Apple, Google and Microsoft all taking hits today as well. And yesterday too, Microsoft was down 8% and Google was down 10% off the back of slowing growth as well. So all the tech stocks taking hits there. And in fact, Meta has fallen below the market cap of Visa. So it's absolutely incredible. Meta is now worth $250 billion, whereas it was pushing at $1 trillion only at the start of this year. So quite a big drop. Really interesting what's happening. I don't normally comment on the American markets, but I thought it was super, super interesting to kind of see. I've been following Facebook ever since it listed. Way back in, it must have been 2014. I can't quite remember exactly when it was, but I remember I was at work and I was kind of, tuned in with my manager at the time. We were both into stocks, and we tuned in as Facebook launched. And, it was about 3 p.m. around about that time in the afternoon when the kind of opening bell happened. We're like, what's going to happen? Is it going to shoot up? Is it going to shoot down? And honestly, I can't even remember what happened. I think it went down. I'm not sure. So you can see back in, it's 2012. Okay, well, there we go. So I got that wrong by about 3 years. What's 3 years in the space of a lifetime, eh? But you can see kind of that Facebook did have a meteoric rise as it's the company with the largest user base in the world, I believe. It's something like over half of the world's population use an app or a kind of social media associated with Facebook. So it's quite an interesting company, but you can see that it's really out of favor right now. So be that what it may, that's the update for today. Hope you have something great planned for this evening. It's Thursday evening, and then on to Friday tomorrow, and then on to the weekend. So hopefully you enjoy, and more interesting things will hopefully happen. See you soon.